Live from New Delhi, you're watching Did India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Tanvi Taneja. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese's centre-left Labour Party wins over the Conservative opposition in the nationwide federal election. India-Angola signed 3 MOUs. India announces a $200 million defence credit line for Angola. Both countries to expand ties in healthcare, diamonds processing and critical minerals. And India imposes immediate ban on direct and indirect import of all goods from Pakistan. Pakistan flagged ships banned from entering any of India's ports. So up first, updates from Australia's federal elections. Well, Prime Minister Anthony Albanese has claimed victory in a general election on Saturday, vowing to steer the nation through a rough patch of global uncertainty. Albanese has promised to embrace renewable energy, tackle a worsening housing crisis and pour money into a creaking healthcare system. Albanese, in his victory speech, said that Australians voted for Australian values as Labour Party wins the elections. He added that in this time of global uncertainty, Australians have chosen optimism and determination.
Today, the Australian people have voted for Australian values. For fairness, aspiration and opportunity for all. In this time of global uncertainty, Australians have chosen optimism and determination. Australians have chosen to face global challenges the Australian way, looking after each other while building for the future.
In another strict move against Pakistan, India has banned all imports from Pakistan amid soaring tensions over the Pahalgam terror attack. This will include finished or raw products. As per the Commerce Ministry, direct or indirect import or transit of all goods originating in or exported from Pakistan, whether or not freely importable or otherwise permitted, shall be prohibited with immediate effect until further orders. The government stated that the decision has been taken in the interest of national security and public policy. Any exception to this prohibition shall require prior approval of the Government of India. In other updates, India also decided to suspend exchange of all categories of inbound mail and parcels from Pakistan through air and surface routes. Moreover, India has also banned all ships bearing the flag of Pakistan from entering any Indian port. In a notification, the Directorate General of Shipping of India's Ministry of Ports, Shipping and Waterways also said that a ship bearing the flag of Pakistan shall not be allowed to visit any Indian port. Any Indian flagship shall not visit any port of Pakistan. This order is issued to ensure safety of Indian assets, cargo and connected infrastructure in public interest and for interest of Indian shipping. The order will be implemented with immediate effect and will be valid till further notice. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today held delegation-level talks with visiting President Lawrence in New Delhi. Both sides deliberated on a wide-ranging of areas including trade and investment, defence, energy, skilling, railways development partnership, health and pharmaceuticals, cultural cooperation and people-to-people ties. Both the leaders also exchanged views on regional and global issues of mutual interest. So, the President of Angola in New Delhi, a number of MOUs in agriculture, Ayurveda and other traditional systems of medicine and culture were signed between India and Angola. Also, there was a handing over of International Solar Alliance agreement. Addressing the press meet with President Lawrence, Prime Minister Modi underscored that terrorism is the biggest threat to humanity, adding that both the sides are committed to take firm and decisive action against terrorists.
When the COVID-19 pandemic, on one hand, restricted contact between peoples and nations on a global scale, but on the other hand, it was precisely in this challenging period that we came together once again to discuss our perspectives, our interests, our visions for the future, as well as the challenges, the common challenges for Africa, in particular, we're facing at the time confronting an unprecedented phenomenon in which your country played a prominent role through its contribution to the African continent, especially with the donation of vaccines that have proven essential in the effort to contain the spread of the disease.
President of Angola strongly condemned the terror attack on Indian soil and expressed solidarity with the people of India. He appreciated India's help during the COVID-19 pandemic.
3 memorandum of understandings were concluded today in the presence of the 2 leaders. One is pertaining to cooperation agriculture. The second is cultural cooperation, and the third is in the area of traditional medicine and Ayurveda. During the visit, again, Angola expressed interest to join International Solar Alliance, and to that effect, they have delivered the framework agreement, which will, in course of time, formally induct them as a member of the International Solar Alliance.
India and Angola signed a number of MOUs in agriculture, Ayurveda and other traditional systems of medicine and culture on Saturday. India's Minister of External Affairs said that handing over of International Solar Alliance agreement also took place in the presence of visiting Angolan President Lawrence. The Ministry of External Affairs added that Prime Minister Narendra Modi has offered $200 million worth of defence credit line to Angola on Saturday. Defence
is another area of cooperation that attracted a lot of attention. During this visit, Honourable Prime Minister has offered $200 million worth of lines of credit, defence line of credit in Indian rupees. They will be sourcing defence equipment from India. Already they are in touch with the private companies and also public sector companies for various items to be sourced from India. And the important aspect is there is a commonality. They have a large number of Soviet equipment, defence equipment, which needs to be serviced, overhauled and do the maintenance. So in the days to come, both sides will be engaging the expert level interactions as to how to take forward this particular cooperation.
India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar called on Angola President Manuel Lawrence. The minister said that he values his warm sentiments for India and guidance for taking forward India-Angola partnership. Earlier in the morning, President of Angola, João Manuel Gonçalves Lawrence, received a warm welcome in India, marked by a 21-gun salute and a guard of honour. He was received by President Draupadi Murmu and Prime Minister Narendra Modi at the Rashtrapati Bhavan, highlighting India's strong ties with Global South partners. This is President Lawrence's first ever bilateral state visit to India and is the first visit by an Angolan president to India in 38 years. The visit comes at a time when India and Angola are celebrating the 40th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations this year. President Lawrence also visited Rajghat and paid respects to Mahatma Gandhi earlier on Saturday. Now we take a look at other stories making news around the world. In northwestern United States, the state of Idaho has resulted in 7 fatalities and 8 injuries. The crash led to a nearly 7-hour closure of US Highway 20 at milepost 399 while emergency teams cleared the scene. The incident is under investigation. The M23 insurgents who took control of eastern Congo now face the challenge of governing the region. To succeed in their uprising, they must stabilize and improve the economy in areas with over 5 million people, despite challenges such as that of closed banks, currency shortages, disrupted supply chains and rising prices and new taxes to fund their revolution. Under the blazing sun, hundreds of sailors took to the Gulf for the 34th edition of the Al Ghafal race. Far from Dubai's towering skyscrapers, more than 100 teams competed in traditional dhows near Serbu Naya Island, about 100 kilometers from Dubai and Abu Dhabi. The race celebrates the region's maritime heritage. You're with us on DD India Live. Still to come on the show. Singaporeans vote in an election in a test of public approval for the new Prime Minister. South Korea's conservatives pick hardline Kim Moon-soo as presidential candidate. And UK's Jack Draper sets up a title clash against Norwegian Casper Ruud in Madrid Open final.
Over the next 5 years, the worldwide water demand will be 40% more than its supply. This will exacerbate food insecurity, among many, many other things. We explore solutions, innovations, and hope.
The idea was to give two things, like water which is affordable and that is cold to passengers.
Mangroves are being planted to buffer flooding. Their intricate roots stabilize beaches and help prevent coastal erosion.
Our hybrid silica gel is like a magic glue that brings the microplastic particles together. They then float to the surface where we can easily skim them off.
With government support, we could clean a lake and use the collected water hyacinths to produce our own products.
Bharat welcomes the world to a new era.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India Live. I'm Tanvi Taneja. Singaporeans voted on Saturday in an election where Singapore Prime Minister Lawrence Wong faced his first major test against a rejuvenated opposition in uncertain economic times for the trade-centred nation. Wong's ruling People's Action Party, PAP, which has steered the island to prosperity while being criticised for suppressing dissent, is expected to easily retain a clear majority in Parliament. Wong has repeatedly said he needed a strong mandate to navigate heavily trade-reliant Singapore through economic uncertainty in the light of tariffs levied by US President Donald Trump. The Russian port city of Novorossiysk declared a state of emergency on Saturday after local authorities said that a Ukrainian drone attack had damaged a grain terminal and several residential buildings. Andrei Kravchenko, mayor of Novorossiysk, inspected damage to 3 apartment buildings. He said that a woman was seriously injured and hospitalized while 2 children were also hurt. Kravchenko added one of the injured people, a woman, was in hospital in a serious situation. 2 children had also been injured, local authorities said. Meanwhile, there was no immediate comment from Ukraine, whose Air Force said that Russia struck Ukraine overnight with 183 drones and 2 ballistic missiles. It stated that strikes on Ukraine's Kharkiv wounded about 50 people late on Friday. South Korea's ruling Conservative People's Power Party officially nominated former Labour Minister Kim Moon-soo as its presidential candidate for the upcoming June 3rd election. The snap election follows the ousting of President Yoon Suk-yeol after his controversial attempt to declare martial law. In his acceptance speech, Moon-soo blamed the current political turmoil on what he called an aggressive impeachment drive led by the opposition.
Third-rate politics are undermining South Korea's competitiveness and holding back the economy and people's livelihoods. Our inability to unite has led to 2 presidential impeachments. I will push for constitutional reform to move beyond the outdated 1987 system.
Prince Harry expressed deep disappointment on Friday after losing his appeal over the withdrawal of his official security in the UK, saying he was devastated by the court's ruling and would struggle to forgive the decision. Speaking to BBC, he said the outcome made it unsafe for him to bring his family to Britain. Harry, the youngest son of King Charles III, had challenged a decision made by the Home Office following his departure from royal duties. Since moving to California with his wife Meghan Markle and their 2 children, Harry has argued that he and his family still face significant security risks when visiting the United Kingdom. The dispute stems from a February 2020 decision by a government security committee that Harry would no longer receive automatic police protection when in the country. That decision was upheld last year by the High Court and again on Friday by the Court of Appeal. The Home Office welcomed the outcome, stating the UK government's protective security system is rigorous and proportionate. Back to India, a tragic stampede during the Shirgaon temple procession in the Indian coastal state of Goa led to at least 6 deaths and a dozen injuries. Panic spread in the overcrowded area and emergency services were rushed to assist the victims. Preliminary reports indicate a lack of proper arrangement contributing to the chaos. Goa Chief Minister Pramod Sawant visited the hospital to check on the injured. Authorities have launched an investigation into the incident. And next, all the updates on Waves 2025, India's first of its kind World Audiovisual and Entertainment Summit in Mumbai. In a major leap forward for India's creative and emerging technology ecosystem, India's Minister of Information and Broadcasting, Ashwini Vaishnav, inaugurated a pioneering set of initiatives in the animation, visual effects, gaming, comics and extended reality domain at the Waves Summit 2025. The expansive initiatives unveiled include industry internships, scholarships, startup funding, rendering parks, game design, programs and a nationwide collaboration with over 1,400 schools. Together, these programs aim to create a dynamic pipeline of skilled professionals, catalyze entrepreneurship. Prominent global technology leaders such as Google, Apple, Microsoft, Meta, Adobe and NVIDIA are actively participating in this journey, providing validation and support for India's bold vision in the digital creative space. Speaking at the event, Minister Vaishnav emphasized India's immense potential in the media and entertainment industry. The minister said a new initiative in the field of film, media and entertainment has begun in India just 2 days ago. With the kind of talent India possesses, it is taking its first step towards leading the world.
India can take the global leadership in the world of media and entertainment. That is the kind of talent we have. 1 billion plus talent and 5,000 years old civilization. Billions of stories to tell. I look forward to more and more inputs from the industry participants. We are very open-minded government. Our Prime Minister always encourages us to listen and make the changes which are required for helping our youngsters, helping our talent find the right opportunities.
Motion Picture Association (MPA) released a report on day 3 of the Waves 2025 summit. Addressing the launch event, India's Minister of State for Information and Broadcasting L. Murugan said that the MPA report highlights the industry's strategic importance and the fact that how it can be critical for job creation and economic growth.
The report of the Motion Picture Association highlights the significant economic contribution of Indian film, television, online curated content industry. In 2020-24, the sector generated a combined gross output of rupees 2.77 lakh crore with a total gross value added of rupees 1.44 lakh crore. It is also supported more than 26 lakhs jobs across the direct and indirect revenue of the employment. This data reaffirms the industry's strategic importance not only as a cultural driver but also a critical engine of job creation and economic growth.
On the occasion of World Press Freedom Day, the Rights and Rights Analysis Group released a report titled Bangladesh Press Freedom Throttled under Dr. Muhammad Yunus. The report accused the interim government led by Nobel laureate Muhammad Yunus of orchestrating a systematic crackdown on press freedom in Bangladesh between August 2024 and March 2025. According to the report, 640 journalists were targeted during the first 8 months of the interim administration. This includes 182 journalists facing criminal charges, 206 subjected to violence, 167 denied official accreditation, and 85 senior journalists placed under financial scrutiny by the Bangladesh Financial Intelligence Unit, an agency tasked with anti-terrorism and anti-money laundering investigations. On to sports news now. First news from tennis. Fourth seed Coco Gauff will face world number 1 Arna Sabalenka in the final of the Madrid Open on Saturday. Gauff entered her maiden Madrid Open final after defeating former Madrid champion Iga Swiatek in straight sets in the semi-finals. Meanwhile, top seed Arna Sabalenka heads to her 4th Madrid final after a straight-set semi-final victory over number 17 seed Alina Svitolina. Gauff is poised to reclaim the world number 3 spot in the WTA rankings and could even surpass Iga Swiatek for the number 2 position with a victory on Saturday. In men's singles, a 5th seed Jack Draper of Great Britain set up a Madrid Open final against Casper Ruud following his win over Lorenzo Musetti on Friday. Draper downed his 10th-seeded Italian opponent 6-3, 7-6 to reach the 3rd final of 2025. It is also his 2nd at the ATP Masters 1000 level, where he won at Indian Wells in March. Earlier, 14th seed Casper Ruud marched onto his first final in Madrid without dropping a set after the Norwegian beat Argentina's Francisco Cerundolo 6-4, 7-5 despite struggling with a rib injury. And on to IPL cricket now. An in-form Royal Challengers Bengaluru will face a struggling Chennai Super Kings in the 52nd match of the Indian Premier League at the M. Chinnaswamy Stadium in Bangalore on Saturday. RCB are 2nd in the points table with 7 wins and 3 losses in 10 matches. They defeated Delhi Capitals in the previous match and will be looking to continue their good form. CSK, on the other hand, have already been eliminated and are now playing for pride. They are at the bottom of the table with 2 wins out of 10 matches. And with that, we wrap up this edition of DD India Live. Do let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. Connect with us on our different social media handles at DD India Live. And for those on the go, you can also download our DD India mobile app for quick news and updates. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. You can scan the QR code on the screen to download now. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Tanvi Taneja from all of us here in New Delhi. Thank you for watching. Namaskar.